Once again, the season has ended, and right now it is the new beginning of season 22. As usual with every new season, the developer of Pokemon Unite always makes some changes and adjustments. And in the season 22, they have made lots of changes and adjustments on certain type of Pokemon. For example, they have buffed some Pokemons which includes Sylveon, Pikachu, Mimikyu and many more. Likewise, they have also nerfed some Pokemon which includes Ceruledge, Blaziken, Slowbro and many more. Not only that, they have also made some adjustment on the jungle Pokemon like Escalgor, Escavalier, Baltoy, and the jungle invading system has also changed. Because of all these new updates which have been implemented in the current season, definitely the meta has drastically changed. And if you guys are confused about which Pokemon to pick or to buy for the solo ranking in season 22, well, don't worry, because in this video I will show you top 10 best Pokemon for the solo ranking in season 22. By the way, if you are new here, make sure to subscribe to my channel so you can get more this type of Unite content. Now, without wasting any time, let's begin the video. In the number 10, we have the Kampu boy Urshifu. As we all know that in the patch note version 15.13, Urshifu got buff on the moveset like Surging Strike, Liquidation and Throat Chop. Because of that, even in the season 22, Urshifu is still in the meta and doing great. He is one of the Pokemon from the all-rounder category which has the damage, the agility and great durability. If you know how to utilize the moveset of the Urshifu properly, you can easily do 1 vs 2 or 1 vs 3. It's totally depend upon your skill. About the laning page for the Urshifu, I would definitely recommend you to go on the jungle, especially in the early game, because Urshifu has a very good early game potential as compared to other type of all-rounder. Just after reaching level 5, Urshifu unlocks his power spike, especially when you take the moveset like Surging Strike. If you take the Surging Strike in the early game, you can destroy any type of Pokemon, because Surging Strike can deal very high amount of damage, and as a all-rounder by nature, Urshifu has a very high durability. Because of that, it's become difficult for the enemy to kill Urshifu in the early game. That's why Urshifu has a very high advantage in the early game, and he can easily invade the enemy's jungle as well. But the only problem with the Urshifu is in the late game. He is slightly weak in the late game as compared to early game, but still overall, Urshifu is a great Pokemon for the solo ranking, and if you are thinking of buying the Urshifu, it will cost you 12,000 AOS coins or 575 AOS gems, which is a decent price for a strong Pokemon like Urshifu. About the best moveset for the Urshifu, I personally prepare Surging Strike and Liquidation, and this is the build that I use on Urshifu. For the battle item, you can either take full heal or eject button. And this is the boost emblem that I would recommend you to use on Urshifu. You can take screenshot if you want. In the number 4, we have the Electro Boy Zeraora. Zeraora might have not received any kind of buff, but still he is a strong Pokemon which has the potential to carry the game. As a speedster by nature, Zeraora has the agility, mobility and great damage dealing capabilities. He can tear apart any kind of squishy Pokemon in just fraction of second. Usually what happens is, most of the speedster relies on dealing damage by using their moveset, but Zeraora is one of the speedster which can deal very high damage by using both the basic attack and the moveset. About the laning page for the Zeraora, I would definitely recommend you to go on the central area, because the power spike of Zeraora comes after reaching level 7. That's why you need quite a bit of farm, especially in the early game. So I would recommend you to play little bit safe with Zeraora in the early game until you reach level 7. And after reaching level 7, you can play quite aggressive. And if you are thinking of buying the Zeraora, just kidding guys, the Pokemon Unite gives you Zeraora for free. You don't have to buy it. Anyways, about the best moveset for the Zeraora, well, all the moveset of Zeraora are good. It's totally depend upon what you are comfortable with. But remember this, no matter whatever type of moveset you use with Zeraora, first always try to kill the damage dealer of the opposing team, because if you do that, it will give your teammates a little bit of upper hand in the team fight. And these are the build that I use while playing Zeraora. For the battle item, you can either take X attack or eject button, and this is the boost emblem that I would recommend you to use on Zeraora. You can take screenshot if you want. In the number 8 we have the Ninja Boy Greninja. As we all know that in the previous patch note version 15.13, Greninja got buff on the moveset like Smoke Screen, Attack Damage Stats and Water Brush Shuriken. Because of that, right now in the current season, Greninja is in the meta and doing really great. Usually most of the attacker in Pokemon Unite has very low mobility and agility, but it's not the same case with the Greninja. Greninja is one of the attacker which has the damage, the agility and great mobility. He is totally like an assassin. As a attacker by nature, the damage of the Greninja is very high. He can melt down any kind of Pokemon very quick. That is the reason why Greninja is very useful to melt down the objective like Regirock, Regiliki and Rayquaza. Not only that, Greninja can easily go in the backline of the opposing team and kill the damage dealer just like an assassin. Especially with the Unite move, he can cover very long range. But remember this, it is kinda difficult to master Greninja. The difficulties of Water Shuriken and Double Team is medium level. But to master the moveset like Surf and Smoke Screen is really hard. You need lots of practice in order to master these two moveset. So if you are a beginner player in Pokemon Unite, don't start with the Surf and Smoke Screen. First try out the Water Shuriken and Double Team. And when you have mastered the Water Shuriken and Double Team, then you can go with the Surf and Smoke Screen. About the laning pace for the Greninja, I would recommend you to go on the central area, especially in the early game, because the power spike of Greninja comes when he reaches level 7. So always make sure to play very safe until you reach level 7, because Greninja is very weak in the early game. But once you reach level 7, you can play quite aggressively. It's totally depend upon your play style. About the best moveset for the Greninja, well, all the moveset of Greninja are really good, but I personally prefer Surf and Smoke Screen. Now if you are thinking of buying the Greninja, then it would cost you only 10,000 AOS coins, which is a very good price for a Pokemon which is in the meta. Anyways, these are the builds that I use while playing Greninja. For the battle item, you can either take X attack or eject button, and this is the boost emblem that I would recommend you to use on Greninja. You can take screenshot if you want. In the number 7 we have the flamethrower Charizard. Charizard also got buff on the patch note version 15.12 on the moveset like Fire Punch, Fire Blast and Seismic Toss. Because of all those buffs, Charizard has become a very strong type all-rounder. He is a type of Pokemon which has the damage, the durability but slightly less mobility. Charizard can freely use the basic attack while continuously moving. Because of that, he get an advantage to change his position rapidly from one place to another. One thing which makes Charizard a very deadly all-rounder Pokemon is the Unite move he has, which is also known as the Seismic Slam. When Charizard uses the Seismic Slam, the burst damage and the lifesteal of the Charizard increase a lot. Because of that, he can easily do 1 vs 3 or 1 vs 4 while he is on the Unite move. And to master Charizard is very easy. So if you are a new player in Pokemon Unite and looking for a strong all-rounder Pokemon, I would definitely recommend you to try out the Charizard. About the best moveset for the Charizard, well, all the moveset of Charizard are good. It's totally depend upon what you are comfortable with. And these are the build that I use while playing Charizard. For the battle item, you can either take X speed or X attack. And this is the boost emblem that I would recommend you to use on Charizard. You can take screenshot if you want. In the number 6 we have the king of one shot Absol. Even though Absol didn't receive any kind of buff in the new update, but still he is in the meta. As a speedster by nature, Absol has the damage, the agility and great mobility. The critical damage of Absol is so high that he can literally one-shot any kind of Pokemon. His damage can even penetrate through the defense of defender and supporter. These are the reason why Absol is a very deadly Pokemon. About the best moveset for the Absol, well, all the moveset of Absol are really good. By the way, this is the build that I use while playing Absol. For the battle item, I would recommend you to take eject button. And this is the boost emblem that I would recommend you to use on Absol. You can take a screenshot if you want. In the number 5 we have the Green Kitty Leafeon. Leafeon is one of the speedster which has the mobility, agility and great damage dealing capabilities. The damage of the Leafeon is so deadly that he can literally one-shot any kind of squishy Pokemon. And because of the good mobility of Leafeon, you can easily dive in the backline of the opposing team and kill their damage dealer. And one thing I love most about the Leafeon is that his power spikes comes when he reaches only level 4. In just level 4 you can either unlock Solar Blade or Leaf Blade. Because of that, Leafeon gets a very huge advantage in the early game. If you know how to utilize the Leafeon properly, you can dominate the early game very effectively. About the laning pace for the Leafeon, well, you can go any lane that you want because Leafeon does not need loads of farm. Anyways, this is the build that I use while playing Leafeon. For the battle item, I would always recommend you to take the eject button, and this is the boost emblem that I would recommend you to use on Leafeon. You can take screenshot if you want. In the number 4 we have the Street Fighter Blaziken. As we all know that in the new update, Blaziken got nerfed on critical hit rate and fire punch. Because of that, lots of the players are thinking that Blaziken has become weak and got out of meta. But that's not totally true. Blaziken is still in the meta and doing really great. He is almost same as before. So you can totally assume that just like previous season, even in the current season, Blaziken has the potential to carry the entire game by himself, especially in the solo ranking. Anyways, about the laning pace for the Blaziken, I would always recommend you to go on the central area because the power spikes of Blaziken comes when he reaches the level 8. That is the reason why he need quite a bit of farm, especially in the early game. By the way, this is the build that I use while playing Blaziken. For the battle item, always take the eject button, and this is the boost emblem that I would recommend you to use on Blaziken. You can take screenshot if you want. In the number 3 we have the King of Illusion Zoroark. Zoroark is one of the speedster which has the damage, the agility and great mobility. As a speedster by nature, Zoroark has a very high damage dealing capabilities. The damage of the Zoroark can shred apart any kind of non-depender Pokemon. And Zoroark has one of the most highest mobility in Pokemon Unite. Because of that, he can easily dive in the backline of the opposing team and kill the damage dealer. Not only that, he can instantly escape from the enemy as well. Overall, Zoroark is a perfect assassin which can hyper carry the match. The only problem with the Zoroark is it is way too difficult to master him properly. But if you somehow manage to master Zoroark, it will definitely help you to rank up faster in Pokemon Unite. Anyways, this is the build that I'm using on Zoroark. For the battle item, always take the pull heal. And this is the boost emblem that I would recommend you to use on Zoroark. You can take screenshot if you want. In the number 2 we have the cyborg looking guy Ceruledge. As we all know that in the previous season, Ceruledge was totally a broken Pokemon and he was positioned as a top 1 Pokemon in the solo ranking. But in this season, Ceruledge is in the number 2 because in the new update he got nerfed on the moveset like Bitter Blade, Psycho Cut and Phantom Dive. Because of that, Ceruledge becomes slightly weaker than previous season. Even after getting all those nerfs, Ceruledge is still in the meta and has the potential to carry the entire game by himself. So even in this season, you can buy Ceruledge without any hesitation. Anyways, this is the build that I'm using on Ceruledge. For the battle item, you can take eject button, and this is the boost emblem that I would recommend you to take on Ceruledge. You can take screenshot if you want. In the number 1 we have none other than the king of one-shot Gengar. As we all know that in the new update, Gengar got a huge buff on the moveset like Dream Eater, Hex and the Invisible Shock. Because of that, in the current season, Gengar has become a very super duper strong Pokemon which can carry the entire game by himself. Gengar is one of the speedster which has very high damage dealing capabilities. He can literally one-shot any kind of squishy Pokemon, and his damage can even penetrate through the defense of any defender and supporter. After getting the buff in the new update, Gengar has become even much more deadly. So if you are not using Gengar in the current season, then you are totally making a mistake. You should definitely use Gengar to rank up faster in the current season, because sooner or later the developer of Pokemon Unite gonna nerf Gengar for sure. That's why make sure to take the advantage of this new update. And moreover, the difficulty level of Gengar is in the medium level, so you just need quite a bit of practice and then you you are good to go with the Gengar. Anyways, this is the build that I use while playing Gengar. For the battle item, always take the eject button. And this is the boost emblem that I would recommend you to use on Gengar. You can take screenshot if you want. So that's it for today guys, and if this video was helpful for you, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.